Hi, this is Chris from Void Audit, and today I wanted to walk you through our track Party of the Truth. This is Ableton, it's where I create our songs, and I'll just walk you through different elements, why I play it. Won't be able to cover everything. If you have questions or want to see more, please let me know, and we'll go deeper if there are specific requests. Now let me hit the highlights of the track. Kind of a classic pop arrangement. Intro, verse, chorus, break, chorus. I'd love feedback if folks have other structures they really like when they do cyberpunk music or darksynth. With that, I'll show you how I have the basic elements structured, and then I'll get in and play it. We've got a Foley, which is like a noise floor to make sure things are nice and warm. Got my drum bus, I've got my bass buses, multiple basses in this track because we want to have different sounds as we progress with the aggressive basses that are distorted. My various synthesizers that I'm calling horns and stabs here, as well as pads. The drones I'm a big fan of. I get most of those from Max for Life. There's a pack called Drone Lab that I highly recommend. My FXs that do transitions and builds. I have this cool resample that I made from a 1960s newsreel and tuned it and messed with it. And lastly, our lead group, which I'll talk about as well. And then I use a reference track for mastering purposes. So with enough of that blather, let me go ahead and play, and I'll hit a couple highlights. So our drums are done with various sample packs. I really like samples from Mars. This is their 707 pack, which I'm a big fan for this type of music. Basically using samples from them across all of the music. I use a drum bus to group some effects, compression, the drum bus effect specifically. Drums are pretty straightforward to change the timbre as I go forward. The bass, as I mentioned, playing right now, heavily driven by an auto filter and isotope trash. I am sidechaining it with a kick. And then we move into some of the lead parts early on, which is basically the same pattern, just across different voices. I also change quickly the different parameters of LFO, auto filters, frequencies for filtering, as well as sometimes I use different drive or resonance effects. Most of my VSTs are traditional, either Serum, I'm a big fan of that, or they tend to be things like the Korg pack, like a bass coming up in the chorus is done with Poly 6 chord, Korg VST, or MS-20 emulations. I also am a big fan of various Roland emulations. Basically all the stuff typical synthwave users use. So right now I'm in the second chorus, and you can see here I added a ride cymbal to mix things up, and added a different bass, again for different texture. About to enter the break, and here I use samples of big horns. I actually use Spitfire Labs, which I'm a big fan of, just to break down the track with a different reverb, different tone, building some different textures. Here I'm using some of those rhythmic drones I mentioned from the Drone Lab pack over here, and you can change all the various parameters over time to create movement. And then I close out the track with 2 choruses in a row, raising the tension with the various leads. With that, I'll shut up and let you listen to the end of the song. Again, if there are any questions or requests to go deeper, please let me know, and I'd love to talk about it. Thanks for listening.